Do you know what makes your customer buy? Have you ever thought about the reasons that they'll buy, those triggers that make them buy? Or do you do like most people do? Do you sell your products or services in the way that you think they want to know? So we all make that mistake. We have a product or a service and we go, this is why someone's going to buy it from me. But we often don't ask customers or potential customers why they bought or why they would buy. So the more you understand what those triggers are, the easier it is for you to make the sale. So when we look at this, first of all, we'll look at wants and needs, but we'll look at the real need first. So the real need is when that person or that other business, if you're selling to businesses, can't operate without it. So if it's a product or a service, you go, if they cannot exist without it, then there's a real need. But even in that real need, there might be things that will stop the customer from buying. So it might be that they don't have the money, they don't have time, they don't have other resources in place to do it. But if there's a real need, that's when you've got the most chance of selling. Next, we'll go to a need. So when we look at the need, it might be customer expectations. So the customers might automatically expect you to have those things, or to do something. So when we look at James, who's doing the filming here, a customer would expect that he's going to turn up with cameras and lighting and all the things that's in place. So you wouldn't expect me to go, oh, here's those things. So quite often there's customer expectations. We deliver training courses, and no matter how good the content is, if we don't supply the right teas, coffees, refreshments all the way through what that customer expects, then they'll automatically be down and they'll probably call the training, no matter how good it was, because we didn't supply those right things to them. So customer expectations come into a need massively. Then we look at a want. Now this is a different ball game altogether when we look at wants, because these come into many different things. So it might be the feel-good factor. So for the service or the product that you are supplying will make that person feel happy or feel confident. They're positive thinking, they like that feeling that they're getting. Or it might be innovation. So they might be going, I want to be the first person to have that. It often happens when a new iPhone comes out. You'll get a lot of people who are there for the first person. I want the new one. Then there might be just looking good. So they look good to others. Now that brings in something where they think, oh, maybe people will be jealous of me, they'll be envious because I have that. That could be part of that factor that comes in there as well. Now when you look at all these things, you look at whether it's a real need, a need or a want, it's about the money as well, or a payment plan. So sometimes you might have to alter things, or somebody might not be able to buy straight away because they're looking at, have they got the money? Is it Joe Public and it's the end of a month or beginning of a month when they've been given their wages? Is it businesses that have money coming in at different points? Is it something that's in the public sector that gets all their money in April to last through the next March? So sometimes it's about the money as well. But the more you understand what these things are and what triggers that customer into buying, the more you can change your marketing, the content, the words, you can change your sales process, you can understand when a trigger happens that you can actually make that sale. You can say the right things to the customer instead of leading them down this long journey that takes them through every single thing. There's every chance they'll switch off and they won't buy. If you understand that trigger and you know when it happens, you can sell to them there and then. Once you understand customer buying triggers, you've got so much more chance of not just getting the sale, but doing it in record time.